Thank you, Assemblywoman. I have 3 questions for you.
Speak a little louder.
Sure, absolutely. I'm surrounded. I'm in like an Apache cockpit here. It's
Hey,
kind of rough.
I'm in a case with lights and everything, so we're all lit up.
All right. My first question for you, Assemblywoman, is this bill calls for every employee at Newark Airport, 10,000 plus of those employees, to be paid a supplemental $4.54 per hour for health care. Are you aware that your bill does not require those funds to be used exclusively for health care costs?
The additional monies is to allow the employee to buy health care.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. My second question, Assemblywoman, is your bill requires concessionaires to pay their employees 57% over the minimum wage as of 2019. Are you aware, Assemblywoman, that the Port Authority has a policy that caps concessionaire prices at street prices plus a maximum of a 10% upcharge?
Assemblyman, I think this is a unique situation when you're talking about the airport and the train stations. These are individual workers that are on our front line, and they are essential. And so the fact is, they are being exposed to travelers, not only from our country, but from other foreign countries. And I want to invest in our employees to make sure that they are safe, and so is the airport and the train station.
Assemblywoman, that's a noble of you, but are you aware that the concessionaires have a price control in place where they're only allowed to charge a 10% upcharge over the street prices, and your bill increases wages by 57%? Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not.
Assemblywoman, the minimum wage in New Jersey is on track to be $15 per hour. Your bill would make the minimum wage at Newark Airport $23.54 an hour in 2019. Based on this precedent you're setting, do you believe that the $15 minimum wage is too low? And do you plan to attempt to raise all the minimum wages in the state of New Jersey to $23.54 an hour?
As I said before, it's a unique circumstances for both the airport and the train station. And the fact is, if we're going to talk about the cost, then we should look at how much money the airlines have been receiving.
Thank you, Assemblyman. I did say, oh, I'm sorry, did you ask me a question?
I can't hear you in this thing.
I'm sorry, I'm trying my best. I don't want to look like I'm yelling. People think I'm angry.
Solution for that. If you could perhaps get closer to the microphone.
Okay. Are you having trouble hearing me too, Mr. Speaker?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Would you like me to ask the question again?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The minimum wage question.
It's 16 right now. Okay. The bill provides a supplemental for the health insurance.
Let Assemblyman Bergen ask his question. He was going to repeat the question.
You'd like me to repeat the question? Okay. My question is, Assemblywoman, the minimum wage in New Jersey is on track to be $15 per hour. Your bill would make the minimum wage at Newark Airport for all employees $23.54 an hour. Just to help with the math, the Port Authority has a minimum wage schedule already in place that will require employees to be paid $19 an hour by 2019, and you require an additional $4.54, thereby making the $23.54 an hour. Based on this precedent you're setting, do you believe that the $15 minimum wage is too low, and do you plan to attempt to raise the minimum wage on all employees in the state of New Jersey to $23.54 an hour?
No, I'm not going to increase the minimum wage for all workers.
Thank you, Assemblyman. Assemblyman, one more question. I know I said I had 3, but I just have one more. Are the health care costs somehow more expensive at Newark Airport for an employee than they are in
well, if she knows, do you know?
Well, no, I don't know, but let's talk about what the airport workers are exposed to, because this is an education for myself. They're not only exposed to the coronavirus, but also communicable diseases, and they face a unique set of occupational risks: exposure to chemicals, blood-borne pathogens, diesel emissions, and carbon monoxide. So, yeah, I think they should have health insurance and that we should give them a supplement.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, on the bill.
On the bill.
Mr. Speaker, this bill is incredibly complex, and I've spent a lot of time researching and digging into this bill because the potential impact to the entire state in our economy is huge. So I just want to take a minute to make sure everybody, before you vote yes today, if you intend to do so, that you understand the full ramifications of this bill. The Port Authority already has a minimum wage schedule in place that is higher than the minimum wage for the rest of the state of New Jersey. This bill will, for the first time, pull in a prevailing wage schedule and mandate it on private businesses outside of the construction industry. This is the first time. We are, by virtue of this bill, instituting a prevailing wage on private companies outside of the construction industry. That's first. This bill also requires, above and beyond that additional minimum wage I just mentioned, for a $4.54 an hour health care supplement to be paid, with no restrictions on what that money is used for, and no mandate that it's used to provide any type of health care benefit. This bill also, for the first time ever, requires private employers in the state of New Jersey to give a specified mandatory minimum vacation time to all employees. When this bill is passed, if it's passed, every employee at Newark Airport will get 2 weeks of paid vacation after 1 year's time of service, 3 weeks after 5 years, 4 weeks after 10 years, and 5 weeks after 25 years. This bill is directing employers to give a specific amount of vacation time to their employees. This bill also, for the first time ever, is requiring employers to provide 11 paid holidays to their employees, and it lists them specifically. Mr. Speaker, this bill is not aimed at helping healthcare workers at Newark Airport get health care. This bill is giving them a litany of different privileges and benefits that are not available to everybody else just because one particular group has got the ear of the majority party. My fear is this. My fear is that this is the beginning of a movement by the majority party to raise wages and benefits across the state on private employers to $23.54 an hour, then telling everybody they need to give a certain amount of vacation days, the certain amount of paid holidays. And this bill is written in such a way where it says that an employee who spends half of their time from a private contractor, spends half of their time working at Newark Airport, half of their quote-unquote work week, they're entitled to all these benefits. Well, what if I'm a part-time employee and I work 20 hours, 10 of which are at Newark Airport? This bill very specifically allows that employee to get all of those benefits I just mentioned. Can you imagine if the state of New Jersey raises the minimum wage to $23.54 an hour, gives everybody up to 5 weeks of vacation time, 11 paid holidays, and you can get it all if you are a part-time worker, what that will do to all the small businesses out there? Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't conjecture or my interpretation of this bill. This is what the bill says and does. Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very dangerous bill for our economy. This is a small business killing bill. And this is a tip of the hat to what we can expect from the majority party to do to our small businesses in the future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.